Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist. Thank you for joining me here today. Welcome to 2026. Crikey, what date are we now? The 9th in New Zealand, and I don't even know where the 9 days have gone. And so this is exactly it. Today I'm talking about why I'm not rushing 2026. Why I'm not. And in case you don't want to do it either. But thank you for joining me. Let me know where you are. I'm just going to whip over here. Let me know where you are in the world. And if you are here for a replay, hashtag replay would be awesome. Grab your note-taking device because I've got some goodies that have really got me through, because all of a sudden I went, where did my 2025 go? Who actually did the same? Oh, I'll put my hand up, can't even see you. Who actually did the same thing? Because I just shot by. So this year I'm making a conscious effort to actually just take it bit by bit. So, strategy number one, pull this up here. Strategy number one is you're going to pause before you plan anything. Now, this sounds ridiculous. Just trust me on this one. Because when I think about this, we think about stillness. And so this, when we're still, it allows our insights or our awareness to surface. And that happens before we jump into strategy mode. So it's like, I can see what's going on here. So what happens is things that happen is you keep planning and nothing ever feels like it's settled. Or you've got that urgency that's going on, but there's no clarity that comes from it. So, look, we're in 2026, we've just started. So you sit down to plan 2026, all these New Year's resolutions. Everyone's got all these amazing things. Let's do this, do this. And you become incredibly overwhelmed and you don't get anywhere. So you can go, well, what did I do last year? What did I succeed in last year? What didn't I succeed? Any of those things. But when you start looking at those, it just feels like nothing feels right. I've heard this many times. Like I started and then just got too much, and then had to have a drink, and then I had to have this, and had to. So what I want you to do is, when I talk about pausing, I want you to step away. When you know what it is, just step away for 24 hours, even up to 72 hours, step away. Because when you sit in that stillness, without asking what's next, the clarity arises. I guarantee that when you're sitting in that stillness, the clarity arises. The more we force things, the more we can't get an answer from. So we're not going to force any direction here. We're just going to sit, consolidate, I was going to say discombobulate, consolidate before we actually move forward. The next one I'm going to give you is listening to your body, not the noise. Let me just get this going up. Make sure we've got this here. Oh, that going there. Listening. There we go. Thank you. You're going to listen to your body, not the noise that's going on. Because we know our nervous system often knows that a pace that's sustainable. Our body knows more than our brain. There we go. Our body will actually tell you what it is. So what can happen is, you have a tight chest or something like that, or shallow breathing's going on. And I'm thinking about one particular person in a moment, something like this. Or you've even had fatigue now. Can't be bothered, I'm so exhausted. And what are we, 9 days in? Just too tired. I'm just too tired to do that. So the year has started, but we're 9 days in, and now we're going, I've got that fatigue. So what can happen is you think about someone else's goals and you go, yeah, that's pretty cool. I love that idea. But your actually body goes, oh, I love that idea. But everything in here is just going, eek. You know those times, or you've heard it, you've felt it before. So what I want you to do is I want you to notice expansion over contraction. So expansion in your body is leaning in, contraction is to lean out. Expansion is to lean out, jump in, lean in, and contraction is to contract. So what you're going to do is you're going to slow your pace. When you feel this in your body, you're going to slow your pace until your breath deepens. You're going to slow your pace until your breath deepens. So everybody now, just take a moment now and just slow your pace of your breathing. Just right now. You get to choose your own speed because you get to regulate your nervous system. So just from that, as that breath deepens, that's a place where you can make phenomenal shifts in your world. Who would have thought? Who would have thought slowing the pace down gives phenomenal shifts? The next one I'm going to give you is to redefine your progress. And when I think about progress, we go, gotta do this, and gotta do this, and gotta do this. And it's a speed thing. But actually, progress isn't speed. It's alignment. So when I think about alignment, it just means you feel guilty when you're resting, or when you do an internal shift, it just feels like it's not good enough or anything like that. So you're doing less and your decisions are going chaotic and your boundaries are stronger, but you're actually moving forward. So what I want you to do is I want you to measure your progress by clarity, not output. Don't look at the race you've run. How well did your body manage on that race? How well did the shoes manage on that race? How well did your breathing manage on that race? How well did the scenery go? What was going on in your mind? You're going to go by clarity, not the output of getting to the end. And then you're going to acknowledge these internal wins. Now, any win is a win. Everything's a win, really, when we think about it, if we can flick our mind to it. So these internal thoughts that we're having, our clarity, is a win. Just because we didn't make the race, what was that progression that we had that got us there? And of course you're going to honour your consistency over intensity. Of course you're going to honour that. That's 100%, because that just happens. When you're honouring your consistency over intensity, the world opens up for you. It's actually more like when you actually honour yourself. The next one is you're going to let your clarity lead your action. You're going to let your clarity lead your action. Knowing that clear direction creates effective action. Clear direction creates effective action. So what I want you to think about is when this is actually showing up. You could be taking action, but you're just doing it to feel productive or show others you're feeling productive. Or you're starting things and you don't finish it. Or confusion disguises you as motivation. So what I want you to do is I want you to wait for that quietness. Wait for the quiet, and then the certainty comes, and then yes happens. You're going to take fewer, cleaner actions. Fewer, cleaner actions. And you're going to let your alignment determine your timing. Let the alignment determine your timing. Ooh, how about that one? To get clarity, get that, you're going to let your alignment determine your timing. There is a massive factor in here of trust. Trust that you're on the right path. Trust this is going to work out. These are the things that's got me through. So I'm just letting you know they work. It's just trusting. The next one I'm going to talk about is don't take anything personally. Yeah, don't take anything personally. Because if you don't clear your emotional noise, your clarity doesn't come. So what can happen is you hear other people's results and you're going, oh, that's not me. Or you're reading into a message because someone didn't message you. I had someone didn't message me yesterday for 24 hours and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Now, if you ask me, I'm probably one of those people who go, I thought I messaged you. 2 weeks later, I thought I messaged you. So yeah, I did. I just started to go personal. What have I done? And it does. So you're just going to remind yourself, this is what got me through. You're going to remind yourself that this is information. This is information. It's not evaluation. This is information, not evaluation. And you're going to separate your facts from the story you're telling yourself. Because often the facts are not the same as your story, and often they can be worlds apart. They could be worlds apart. So you're going to let other timelines exist without making them mean something about you. You're going to let their timeline exist without making that mean something about you. Again, don't take anything personally. It's a valid one. It's a valid one. My standard one that I talk about often is a bit of glitter. Found a bit of glitter today. So you're going to do what lights you up. You're going to do what lights you up, and you're going to have you're going to know that you're achieving your goals, but you can feel flat. And then you do one thing, and it just changes everything, and it lights you up, and you're like, wow, I wouldn't have thought that. And that clarity comes back from. Remember, your joy or your spark or your glitter restores your clarity and your self-trust. So what you're going to do is you're going to schedule at least one non-negotiable joy activity weekly. Schedule at least one non-negotiable joy activity weekly. You're going to let that glitter inform your direction. Whatever that joy, that spark, that glitter is, you're going to let that inform your direction. And you're going to stop justifying what energizes you. Because it may be what energizes you, but it's also part of your life path. So stop justifying what energizes you. Take it in, lean it in. Do your glitter. Your glitter is either going for a walk outside, using a beautiful pen when you're doing something. I block out in my diary. I have glitter time for 7 days in my diary. 7 days in my diary. It's there. Block that out and do it. Honor yourself for that. My other tip, do you know this one? This person here? This person here? Do you want me to do it this way? Because I want to let you know that you're not alone. You're not alone. This is Debs Cooper, global stressologist here. So I want you to know that when you connect with me, that pressure that you have is going to disrupt and it's going to dilute. I'm going to say dilute, it's just going to disperse really. So just know that when you think you have the answers and you're in that spiraling state, there's somebody who does have the answers. There's somebody who's guiding you all the way along. I've been doing this for 20 years, just this particular part in my business for 20 years. And I've been doing it for a lot longer, but I'm here to help you. So I want you to think about this. I want you to speak what's going on rather than containing it, whether you write it down, whether you send me a message, whatever that is, whether you send me an email, drop me a private message, anything you want to get that through to me. You can book a glitter bomb call, but the key is actually to get it out of your head. Get it out of your head. And you're going to allow that support to regulate that nervous system again. I'm going to support you enough to regulate that nervous system for you. You're also going to reach out. You're going to reach out before that overwhelm forces a pause. Because when that overwhelm forces a pause, it can create absolute chaos. So when that overwhelm hits. So get that pause in before the chaos absolutely hits. When I think about 2026, my key here is to not rush. It isn't about doing less. I really would like to emphasize it. 2026 is not rushing, isn't about doing less. It's about doing what's true, sustainable, and works for you. Whatever that is that's aligned for you. It's not about doing less. It's not about that. It's just not rushing, isn't about that. It's just about being present and enjoying each moment as you go along. So, you know, listeners, what happens. You know. After listening today, I'm going to ask you this question. After listening today, what's the most meaningful step you can take today? What's the most meaningful step you can take today that's going to honour your highest inspiration? What is that most meaningful step? Why I'm not rushing 2026 and why you might not want to either. Thank you for joining me, Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist. If you like this, the next step is invite people in. Invite people in to watch this and engage in that conversation. That is Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist. That's me. Signing off on why I'm not rushing 2026 and why you might not want to either. Have a fabulous day. Have a great week and I will see you next week. See ya.